Right, I think it's time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching. It's me, Dave, that foreign bloke. I'm just checking out up there because it doesn't seem to be showing. It says waiting for that foreign bloke, which is a little bit concerning as I've already started. Oh, sound, now it's working. All right, let's. Good afternoon, wherever you are watching. Sorry about that. I got myself coming back through the speakers. Hi Nick, how are you, Nick? All right, mate. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's me. I'm here. The last live stream before we disappear to Thailand. As you can see behind me, 1, 2, and 3 suitcases, all getting ready, packing up with stuff. I've been buying stuff on and off for, well, since we came back, and I've still got a few things left to get, but I keep topping up and topping up and topping up. So once we are fully packed, obviously they will be locked, loaded, and they will have their little happy giraffes put on them, the case covers that I bought that I showed in the last vlog. The last vlog was a bit of a flop, actually. It was probably the worst performing vlog I've had in months, if not years, which is a bit of a disappointment. Hopefully that will improve once we start with Thailand vlogs again. This is the last live stream. Next Sunday there will be a last vlog from Sweden, and hopefully on Thursday I may even have a vlog from Thailand. If I don't have it on Thursday, it will be on the following Sunday, 2 weeks today. Johnny, I hope we both have a safe and drama-free. Well, I hope so too, Johnny. Thanks very much. Yeah, we are flying with Qatar Airways, and I booked lounge access in Doha, so that's good. I did see something on social media, on Facebook, I think it was, showing long queues for taxis at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok this week. I don't know whether, I think that was the question, was people didn't know whether that was to do with a shortage of taxis or whether it was a sign of better times as far as tourism to Thailand is concerned. We obviously have to get ourselves over to Don Muang to get our flight up to Udon Thani, because we're flying from Don Muang, which I explained all that previously. But there is a bus that goes between Suvarnabhumi and Don Muang as well, but it's a bit, it all depends really on the time and stuff. I did plan just to get a big taxi, you know, a Fortuna or something like that, and just get somebody to drive us there. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But that was what I saw on Facebook this week, on one of the pages or one of the news outlets that I follow, that there was long taxi queues, or long queues for taxis at Suvarnabhumi this week. So yeah, that's one possible drama that might that might cause some problems. Yeah, we go from here early doors. We've got the water company coming the day before we go and turning the water off. So unfortunately, we won't be able to shower and what have you. We'll just have to boil up a kettle and things on before we go. We'll fill up a couple of my big water tanks, so we've got water here to flush toilet and things. But we'll have to do it manually because we have to leave early, and I can't rely on them coming. Before we need to leave on the morning of our departure. So we will be leaving pretty early, so we won't have any water. But they'll be coming the day before. I've spoke to the guy. I sent an email and then they called me. So they were coming to turn the water off, and then as I say, the next day, early morning, we will be leaving from here. We've got to drive up to the town of Eskilstuna first. I will leave the car there, and then we will get the train from there up to the airport. It's a non-stop train up to the airport. So That should be all right. And then Qatar Airways to Doha, changing Doha, and then Doha to Bangkok. Russ, hi Russ. How are we going to vlog the travel? Yeah, I will be vlogging the travel. Like I said, it may well be out a week on Thursday, depending on if I have time enough, because I've got a lot of work on at the minute as well. So between traveling and everything else, this week coming, got a full schedule with work, and we will be still here next weekend, and after the weekend then we will be off to Thailand, and that's a long journey, 28 hours roughly. So I may or may not get time to edit the travel video as early as that. It may have to wait until Sunday, so at the usual time, this time on Sunday, so it will be in a fortnight from now. Next Sunday will be the last vlog from here. I haven't got much really to show what's been going on here, and like I said, the last vlog last week was a bit of a flop, so I don't know, but I will be doing a travel vlog. Whether it will be out midweek or whether it will be out on the Sunday, I'm not really sure. My plan is, I actually mentioned this in a clip that I filmed when I was out walking, which would come up in the next coming vlog. But the plan is that I may try to bring out a midweek vlog as well. So I'll keep to the Sunday, the usual Sunday time, but I'm going to try and bring out a vlog on a Wednesday or a Thursday without actually having a specific time for them. They'll be ready when they're ready, because it's a little bit difficult with work. If I don't quite make it for the Wednesday, you know, or I might be stressed out for the Wednesday, so it might come out Thursday, it might come out at a strange time of day. But my plan is, I found that just doing the vlogs on a Sunday, they're often quite long for one thing, and I have to cut down them quite a lot just to get them down to a reasonable length of time. They can still be 20-25 minutes, and I think it was just better for the channel, better for the looking at the analytics and all that. I think it would be better for the channel if I did two, one on a midweek and one on a Sunday at this time. So that's what I'm going to do. So whether I start a midweek one week after next in like 10 days time, or whether it will be the following week, that just remains to be seen. We've got quite a busy time of it when we get to Thailand as well. There's quite a few things happening, not least of which we've got these buffaloes arriving literally sort of 36 hours after we get to Thailand. So we've got quite a lot to do to get that sorted, because we will come back and we'll stay at the house, but obviously the farmhouse hasn't been lived in for a few months, so we need to sort that out and get that so we can be living there. It usually needs cleaning, and obviously everything we've taken away from there when we're not there, so we will probably be living in town, which means driving back and forth, and yeah, it's all a bit of a hassle. So we'll see about that, but there will be definitely a travel vlog coming, so hopefully that will do better certainly than the last one did. For those of you that didn't watch the last one, please check it out, even just if you want to just see my funny suitcase covers that I bought for my suitcases here. There's a reason why I bought them. It's not so that they look funny. It was really because I'm always concerned that these type of suitcases that are just held with a zip in the middle are going to burst open. And I recall, I might have said this on the last vlog, but I recall being in Dublin once, just arrived in Dublin at the airport, and I'm waiting at the baggage carousel, and the first thing I see as I'm waiting is one of my shoes comes round on the carousel, and I thought, oh shit, that doesn't look good, and I waited a little bit longer, and then something else of mine came, and then the next thing, this just lump of things hanging out everywhere, and it was kind of sort of semi-taped up quick just to keep it in some kind of togetherness, you know, so that nothing else would be falling out, but things were just falling out anyway. So where it had got damaged, I don't know. I would imagine probably as they were taking it out from the plane, because there were things everywhere, and that wasn't much fun. So I'm always worried about these cases that have this zip round the middle. And what I done before in Bangkok is do the old cling film thing, you know, where you go up to the, they put them on this thing and they wrap them with this like cling wrap, and it's really good, and it holds it all together, protects the case. Fantastic. They don't have that here, and they haven't had it when we've been traveling from Thailand lately. Obviously, I think these things got shut down with the pandemic and what have you, so I've resorted to just putting some, you know, packing tape. I've got a new roll of it there, but just basically packing tape around the case, hold it together and hope for the best. And I thought, that looks a bit scabby and crap. Perhaps I buy these covers and that will also help to hold it together, and it won't look so nasty with all that tape just keeping it closed. So that's what I've done. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those finally closed and the covers on. Let's have some water. I'm not planning on having too long a live stream today, for a couple of reasons. One is I haven't really been feeling very well, but I had a bit of a rest just before we started here, so I'm feeling a little bit better now. But the other thing as well is I'm also in the middle of making jam. Some of you will know that I make jam from berries that Jow picks, as a rule, and we've got a few different berries that we've had over that we've frozen, and sort of been talking about, I must make some jam, and it's quite popular, the jam. Unfortunately, it's we haven't had any for a while, and it basically ran out, and I never bothered making any. And I was going to make some to take a couple of jars with us back to Thailand, and a couple of that I'd give to people here, and leave some with me and what have you, and the rest leave it in the fridge till we come back. And I haven't done it yet, and it's sort of like, oh right, I only got a week to go. I need to get my act together. I've also got some jobs to do outside that I haven't, or outside on the front of the house that I'm supposed to be doing that I haven't got around to doing yet either. And I'm not getting very far. And tomorrow is Monday, and I've got a busy week of work. So I was thinking perhaps I'll just keep this one short, maybe half an hour at max, and then try and get on with some of these things. I have started with the jam. I've got my jars in a vat of water that's it's not quite boiling yet, but they're just, you know, clean, and well, not clean them, they're clean, but just making sure they're sort of sterile and whatever before I make the jam, because if you get any bacteria or whatever, that will spoil the jam in that jar. So I do two lots of jam. I've got what they call Drottning Silk in Sweden, which is Queen jam, which is blueberry and wild raspberries, and the which are both wild fruits that Jow's picked. And then the other one is strawberry jam, and I've got some ordinary strawberries, and I've got some scented, very nice strawberries that a friend of Jow's, a Thai who lives here, grows, and I'm going to make strawberry jam. I've made it before with them, and it's very nice. So it's just a hassle, which is the problem, but it's worth the hassle when you've done it. But it's so much of a hassle that you always kind of put it off, you know. I'll do it next time, and then once I've done it, I think, oh, this is great, this is much, and it is much nicer than jam you can buy, you know, if you make your own. But it is a lot of hassle. So that's what I've got going at the minute. Let me see how we've got here. 10 current viewers. Okay, well, 1 or 2 watching. Any of you that are watching that haven't watched that last vlog, please check it out. Yeah, so what else? Yeah, what I've got to do outside, you may recall when we came back last year, we haven't been here for a long time, and there was 1 or 2 windows at the front of the house here in the porch that had been smashed. Just kids probably throwing stones or whatever. And I took out all the broken glass, and I put some plastic pickled quail eggs. Now, don't know about them, Johnny. That sounds like a lot of hassle. Pickled eggs. I've never liked pickled eggs, so I won't be doing that. Have you got quails? That's that sounds like a lot of hassle, because you have to peel all the shells off. I hate shelling eggs as well when you make hard-boiled eggs, so no, I won't be making any pickled eggs for a while. My mum's very into making pickled stuff, but I'm more into the jam side of things myself. Yeah, this at the front of the house, these windows, they got smashed, so I put some sort of like plastic, you know, basically like a plastic bag. 100 eggs at a time. Okay, that's not fun. No, I wouldn't want to be doing that. I put this plastic sheet at the front and was going to go get around to redoing the windows, not glazing them with proper glass, but with doing them with plexiglass with some acrylic glass. Never got around to it last year. Forgot about it, to be honest with you. And then this year I thought, I must do that, and this plastic that I put in there is kind of looking a bit scabby as well. So I bought some, only they were too small. That might be in that next vlog that's coming out. You never know. I don't know. I think I did film something of that. But anyway, they were about that far from the right size. So I bought a sheet which is a lot bigger, and but it's harder to cut. But I need to cut 2 pieces out, 2 panes. One's about that big and one's a narrower one, and I've got the old putty thing for the, it's like a silicone tube thing, so for doing that. So it's just getting on and doing that as well. But it's another job amongst several that I've been sort of, I'd best do that before I go away back to Thailand, and then I put it off, or I don't feel like it, and before I know it, oh shit, there's no time left. And the last, I don't know why, the time was, I've been just been dying to get back to Thailand, and I can't wait to get back to Thailand. I've been sort of counting down the days, and it seemed like ages and ages, and suddenly there's no time left, and I don't know where I don't know where the time's gone, why it suddenly crept up on me, because there seemed like there was an awful lot of time left, and it was taking forever to count down. I think it's just because I've been busy in work recently. We've been very busy actually, and I was away on a business trip week before last, which you may or may not have seen if you watched the unsuccessful vlog. I had a couple of days away, met up with my business partner, and we were discussing all sorts of stuff, but we're very busy at the minute, and that's probably why time has gone a lot quicker, because I'm always so knackered at the weekend that when I get there, before I know it, it's a new week, because the week you kind of look forward to the weekends, because you know you're tired, but the weekends go very quickly, it seems to me. Anyway, I suppose they do for everyone when you've been working all week, but it's meant that the last 2 to 3 weeks have just flown by, when there seemed to be, oh, there's still quite a bit of time left, I'll get all these things done. And now I'm sort of in a bit of a panic to get them done, but we shall try and get them done. If I don't get the windows done at the front, well, I'm going to have to put some more plastic sheeting or something there. It doesn't look good, and it's not very, it's not very practical having that there, but it's better than nothing. But I will try and get that done as soon as I can. Right, let's have a look. Concurrent viewers suddenly went a big drop down, so everybody's gone now, I think. But anyway, I would probably be wrapping it up fairly soon. How long have we been going? Just out of curiosity, 20 minutes almost, right? Well, we might just give it another 10 minutes, and we'll see. Not much happening in the chat, so oh no, that went back up again now, the concurrent viewers thing. Right. Not much happening in the chat. Leave us a message in the chat. Otherwise, I just sit here rabbiting on about I don't know what, because there's nothing to answer in the chat coming up. Luke, hello Luke. Mall of Asia opening up now. Just got back from Tokyo with the family. Even Hong Kong is opened, although you can't sit in the restaurants the first 2 days after you land. Okay, yeah, some strange things going on there. But I did see Japan was opening up for tourism, and I got rid of all their regulation. Yeah, Nick Davis is counting down the days, as I well know. Nick will be heading back to Thailand for a couple of months very soon, so we'll be meeting up there. Yeah, Tokyo, Japan. I follow a couple of things on Japan. I never was very interested in Japan, to be quite honest, and then I sort of slightly more interested in it, but I have been sort of following that, and I saw that they were slow to open up, but they're starting to open up as well for tourism, and that's coming, so that's good. Yeah, Hong Kong. Yeah, I've been dying to go to Hong Kong for a long time, but I still won't be going while it's like it is now. So we'll have to keep waiting for that. I don't know if I probably have mentioned it. It's probably really boring, but we were supposed to be going to Hong Kong when I had my stroke. It's actually 4 years ago today that I had my stroke, or the first of my 2 strokes. They were 2 strokes in 2 days. But it was about a month before we were due to travel. I'd booked for us to go to Hong Kong first and then to Thailand, and with Qatar Airways as well, and we had to just knock that on the head. So that was 4 years ago, and I haven't got there yet, and I'm still waiting to go, but hopefully perhaps this time next year, next winter, it will be a lot better without any restrictions and needing to do a lot of tests on arrival and stuff. So we'll have to see about that. Joe, good afternoon, Joe. Hope you're doing well, mate. My friend Joe, he's back in Ireland at the minute working, but he will be off to Thailand soon, as well. I think Christmas time probably. Yeah, so a lot of Asia is opening up, as you say. Look, and I think it's more East Asia, Korea and Japan and mainland China that are slower to open up than Southeast Asia. I think Southeast Asia is pretty much open now. And oh, Joe's taking his message away. All right. Okay. Yeah, Southeast Asia is pretty much open as far as I'm aware. I don't think you need anything to travel to Malaysia and Indonesia and the Philippines, for example. I know a friend who's currently in Malaysia now. If you're watching, Craig, hope you're enjoying Malaysia. Or if you're watching this in reprise. 7 weeks, Joe, right? Yeah, not long, mate. I've got just over 7 days, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Southeast Asia seems to me to be pretty much open, but East Asia is a bit slower. I think you can get into Korea now, but you've still got to have I think you've still got to have PCR test before you go. I'm not sure now. Don't count me on that. I haven't been following it that closely, but it will be all opening up soon anyway. So with a bit of luck, I'm just waiting to go to Laos. Actually, been waiting to go for ages. I mean, we live like 60 kilometers from Vientiane, and I haven't been able to go there for a couple of years. So I'm really looking forward to going there, but I don't know whether we will get there this winter or not. I'm toying with 3 ideas at the minute for a holiday. I'd like to have a couple of weeks holiday over sort of Christmas and New Year. The obvious one is to go to the to the coast and to go swimming, and you know, a sunshine holiday kind of thing. And that I rather like that, and it's been a long time. But also, we're away a week tomorrow, Joe. So we will be off. Yeah, I would like to do that, but I'm also we went on a bit of a sort of a driving, you know, road trip around nearer to home in April, and that was enjoyable as well. So I may be looking at doing something like that. And I'd also like to get up to Laos and have a couple of days, 2 or 3 days in Vientiane, and then go up to Luang Prabang, take the train one way or the other, or possibly both, or fly up and take the train back. I want to try the China-Lao Railway and have a few days in Luang Prabang. So I may do that and go to Koh Samet. Yeah, well, that's the last place. That was the last place I had a beach holiday, actually. Well, I say that that was part of the we had a few days on the island, and we had a few days, or about a week, where we lived in Rayong, right in the city, but we rented a very nice apartment in the city in Rayong, and had a rental car. Samet is very nice. I like Koh Mak as well, but these small islands, they can be a little bit. I can find it a little bit restrictive after a few days, because there is pretty much nothing if you're not, it's only touristy things, and I'm not a big tourist, if you know what I mean. When I like to go to non-touristy things like markets and what have you, and they just don't have these on these touristy islands. But Koh Samet, yeah, it's a great place, and we were there actually on Koh Samet when the COVID pandemic started, when it first was, came in the news basically. And when we flew back up to Udon Thani from Rayong, it was the first time, we went and bought masks, and it was all a bit, people were sort of looking at each other a bit, because they'd heard about this thing. It had basically just appeared, and I think Thailand was the first place outside of China that had reported a case of it. So that's where we were when that happened, and since then we haven't been able to get to the beach. But I will definitely agree with you there. It is a beautiful place for the beaches and what have you, and we shall see where we end up and what we do, and whether we can even with Joe's got so many plans on the farm and what have you, and obviously with these buffaloes and things being one of them, that it might end up that we don't really have much opportunity to be going far for very long. So we just have to play it by ear really and see. But I would like to get somewhere at some point, like in that holiday spirit where you're not, you're just somewhere different, and it's it's a different feeling. Ross, Koh Chang, yeah, it used to be, well, it still is one of my favourites actually, Ross. I for the very reasons that I've just said, it's got some nice beaches and whatever, but it's also there's some actual normality, that sort of normal Thai life. There's a couple of sort of like markets and things, and you can go and just get that kind of thing. Don't have to go out to a kind of touristy restaurant every night. You can go and get some stuff off the market or street food kind of thing. And we used to go there every year. We'd drive down. It's a long way now for me to drive. I'm still considering it, but I'd have to probably do it in 2 or 3 days, because I just can't drive that distance. I mean, it's like a 9 or 10 hour drive for us, and I can drive 3 hours in a day and I'm pretty much done in, and that's on a good day. So and I'd want to go in the car. I wouldn't want to be there without the car. Now, I could fly via Suvarnabhumi to Trat, but it's not very cheap to do that. They're very expensive, Bangkok Airways, and we wouldn't have our car, so we'd still need to rent something. So I like to drive down there. Johnny likes Rayong mostly for the seafood. Yeah, it's great. That's one of the things, actually, especially along near the city there. There's some great seafood. And I never was much for seafood, but I've got into it more, and the coastline area is fantastic. There's such a lot, and there's a couple of really highly rated restaurants in Rayong in the city that's just right on the front near the water as well. So you can't beat the seafood, that's for sure. Joe, can't wait to see how big the trees have grown. Yeah, I can't wait either. Some of them apparently are really shot up, and others have like not changed at all. So it looks a bit odd because they're in rows. So you've got like one row of almost, you know, like a little stick like it was, and others that have shot up. I think they grow at different periods, you know, different stages, and it may be that the ones that haven't shot up prefer it a bit drier when it's stopped raining, like it's been raining basically since we left. And yeah, little restaurants along the beach. Yeah, there's quite a few of them, but in the city itself, if you go around to the sort of down to the front where there's a lot of sort of, I wouldn't say shops exactly, but they do a lot of this drying the squid and things along there. There's a couple of fantastic ones down there, but right in town itself now, in Rayong itself, not sort of down the coast from Rayong, but you would class it as being in the city. So that's the place to be. Welcome to the stop off in CET. Well, thank you very much, Russ. Yeah, we may or may not actually be going to CET to visit a friend, the very friend that I was talking about earlier. Zhao's friend who lives here is from CET, and they haven't been back to Thailand for quite some years, and her husband has retired now, and they are thinking about going back. Unfortunately, he hasn't got a passport at the minute, and the Swedish passport system, as far as I've been told, is in absolute chaos. There's like months waiting time, and they're still waiting to get that sorted before they book anything. So the plan was, if they do end up coming they'll only be coming for like a couple of weeks holiday or whatever, but if they do end up coming for a couple of weeks holiday, we may pop down to visit them, because you can fly to Ubon from Udon Thani, so or you could anyway. It depends, but they keep changing the flights, and some of them are not flying now, and some of them are, and then they bring some back and they take some away. But there was a flight, a regular flight from Udon to Ubon to Thani, so we may or we may not end up that way. We wouldn't be driving that way otherwise, probably, but I'll give you a shout, Russ, if we do end up in the area. And likewise, if you're away up north, give us a shout, because it's always nice to say hello and to meet friendly faces that you know from YouTube. And YouTube has been actually the one thing real positive I could say about having my YouTube channel has been I've met a lot of nice people. I've got a few that I will be meeting in the next 3 months. Probably one or two are coming for holidays, so they will be there. One or two of them will be there for holidays, and one or two of them live in Thailand now permanently. So I'll be meeting up with a few people. Johnny, you've done the overnight trip on the bus from Udon Thani to Rayong. Is that the 407 or something? I see that bus goes from Nong Khai to Rayong. I always wonder, I joke about this bus to Zhao. I say to her, like, I would never go on one of these long distance buses, but I joke about it because Zhao's family always, whenever they had business in Bangkok, any family members, they would always take the night bus to Bangkok, and from Udon, and it would leave about I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, and get there at like 5, 6 o'clock at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And then they would head, if they were going to like apply for a visa at the Swedish embassy or something like that. And it just blew my mind. I'm thinking, like, how the hell can you stick out a night bus, you know? But I mean, from Udon to Rayong is a long way, so I don't think I would be fancying that. And I don't, any of you who know Jacko from Chiang Mai Thai Video, Jacko's a friend of mine, and he recently went to his wife's home from Chiang Mai in by bus to Surin, which is again is a hell of a long journey. I think that was like a 10-hour journey, and I just went, how you can stick that, I don't know, but I won't be going to Rail on the bus, that's for sure. It was very convenient with the flights from Udon. There was a daily flight from Udon to Rayon, but that got stopped over the pandemic, and they seem to all be flying to Phuket now. So there's a lot of flights, 2 or 3 a day with 2 different airlines from Udon to Phuket, and vice back and forth. You know, one each way, like 3 times a day or whatever. But they got rid of the flight to Hua Hin. There was a flight that they'd started flying 2 or 3 times a week from Udon to Hua Hin, and there was the daily flight to Rayon, but that's been knocked on the head as well. So we shall see. Obviously there's the high season coming up, so maybe there will be some flights back on again, and we will be able to perhaps decide later on. We may even wait until January, February time before we have a holiday anyway, so there might be some changes by that time. Sleeping pills and lots of beer. I don't know about lots of beer, to be honest with you. If I was going to sit on the bus for for X amount of hours, I would probably not be wanting to drink lots of beer. But sleeping pills, probably, yeah, that's what you need, just something to knock you out. But no, I don't think I'd want that. I mean, it's bad enough sitting in economy class flying from the other side of the world to Thailand, or you know, Australia to Thailand, Europe to Thailand, America to Thailand. You've got to sit for a lot of hours, and that's, you know, that's hard enough. I don't even like flying Thai Airways from Stockholm to or Copenhagen to Bangkok, because it's such a long flight, which is why one of the reasons why I like flying to the Middle East. So I don't think I'd want to be doing it on a bus, to be honest with you. And so many accidents that have been over the years with the buses that I would be a bit unsure. Nick, what's the train like from Udon to Bangkok? Well, the night train I think is good. They had some new. It takes a long time though. It's slow compared to trains elsewhere. Night trains, but they did recently. They brought new the first class carriages for the sleeper. They look all right. Now I've travelled quite a lot of night train sleeper carriages in Europe before, and it sounds like, you know, easy trip. You know, you jump on and you go to bed and you wake up all refreshed when you get there, but it's not quite like that, and I find that pretty hard going as well, going on the night trains and what have you. There are daytime trains, but they take hours and hours, and they're not. It's cheap to go on the train in Thailand, but it's the current state of the railway isn't good. But hopefully the new railway will improve that. Obviously they're building to Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima to Korat, and then there was talk recently about speeding up the development of the train from Korat up to Nong Khai. Obviously, with the Thai-China Railway, or the China-Lao Railway already being finished and working well from Vientiane up to China, they want to join that up, and you know, it would be some good railway infrastructure throughout Southeast Asia. But at the minute, it's still a bit rickety-dickety, and it takes a long time. But if you go on the night train, it's all right. No beer on the trains anymore. I don't know, but you mean on Thai trains, Ross, or what? I mean, can't you take your own beer on the train? In Sweden, we have beer on the trains. If you want to pay, I mean, it's expensive. I mean, everything's expensive in Sweden, but it's like expensiver than normal, like more expensive than normal. But the trains The not all of them have beer, but the ones that have a buffet car and what have you, they have beer. But I don't know about Thailand. I haven't travelled on one of the long distance trains in Thailand. It is something I want to do, but I haven't done it yet. Swiss Air, Joe. Yeah, I flew with Swiss Air. I don't know how many years ago, and they were very good. And I looked at them now when I booked my ticket. When I booked our tickets, I should say, for going back now, and I thought, oh, that's not too bad, the price. But it was like the bare bones. Their pricing structure was like bare bones. Now, obviously, if you book it through some travel agents or whatever, it may not be bare bones. It may be, you get your baggage allowance and whatever. But if you book it through Swiss anyway, they quote you a price, that's your ticket. But then baggage isn't included in that. Seats are not included in that. I mean, obviously you get a seat, but I like to select seats. I'm a bit picky about where I sit. And I'm not a good flyer, which is why I like to always choose my seat and things. And it was more bare bones than most of the other ones. So I don't know, but they get a very good reputation, Swiss. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully it'll be a good flight, Joe. Like I say, I flew with them a few years ago. I flew via Zurich, so but I don't really like changing in Europe if I can avoid it, because flying from Zurich to Bangkok is like flying from Stockholm to Bangkok almost. It's almost the same time. It's a long flight, the second flight, but yeah, Nick, you check with them, and bags extra. Yeah, everything was extra. Like, I paid extra for my seats on Qatar Airways, and to choose where I wanted to sit, and especially on the second leg, because it's on the A380, and I wanted to sit in the little cabin up there. But there's an economy cabin upstairs, so that's where I wanted. And they are expensive, those seats. But yeah, I like to choose. But the Qatar Airways, there's different levels where you get baggage and everything else included. It's just your seat that's not. Thai trains, no beer allowed. Okay, yeah, I don't. They have a strange relationship with beer in Thailand. It's kind of, it's still a bit frowned upon, which is why it's like a lot of things. There are sort of kind of double standards with things in Thailand, and you've still got this no sales in the afternoon thing, and there's a few strange things where it's a little bit frowned upon or whatever. So we shall see. But like I say, I'm not bothered about that. I don't I don't need to drink beer. I haven't drunk beer on a plane for I don't know how many years now, but I would probably have a beer this year, I think, on the journey and try and sleep. But I haven't drank a beer on the plane for at least the last couple of years. Let me see. Right, okay. Yeah, a few night trains, pick the older ones. Well, yeah, nowadays you don't really get much. Certainly in Europe, you don't get much choice as to the night trains. If you want to go by night train, there's a night train. Like for example, you can go all the way up to the Arctic Circle, right, from Stockholm, and all night, 15, 16 hours or whatever. And there's there may be one train that leaves at mid-afternoon, and there's one that leaves sort of 7, 8 o'clock at night, and you don't get there till lunchtime the next day. But you can't choose, and you're not allowed to smoke anywhere in public in Sweden. Not anywhere. But they do have beer and food on the night train. And they will on the night trains in Sweden. They have a proper dining car, like an old-fashioned dining car. So they're pretty good, and you can go in and just order a beer and a small bite to eat, pay a small fortune, and you can sit in the dining car, and that's quite nice. Yeah, Joe likes the exit seat. Yeah, I I have to sit in the aisle, that's the thing. And I like to sit on, I usually sit in the middle, you know, on the wide body, and in the middle row of seats on the aisle on the left hand side, so that my left hand side is not near any people, if you know what I mean. So that like people sitting next to me are sitting that side, because I'm very sensitive down my left side since I had my stroke, and I don't like being touched, and it can be quite nasty. The problem is people barge past me there, but at least I'm not being, you know, constantly by my neighbour, which could be my wife Jo, or it could be somebody else. We've actually booked the first leg of our flight. We were actually sitting on either side of the aisle because Jo didn't want to sit in the middle in a row of 3, and they're 3-3-3, which is you know, I'm not sitting in the middle, so I would be sitting on this side and then she would have to sit. When we came back, I booked seats on either side, but with one leg there was somebody booked into the middle seat, so we had, you know, we had to ask him, oh, will you swap, so that we didn't have some strangers sitting in the middle. The second leg of the flight, there wasn't anybody sitting there, so it was fine. She was on the aisle that side and I was on the aisle this side, and we had space between us. But she didn't like that. Nick, we're on Ever next trip. Yeah, Ever have a very good reputation. That's another place that I'm after going, is Taiwan, because Jo used to work in Taiwan. Ever Air is not an option for us because we'd have to fly to London or to Amsterdam to get their flight to Bangkok. But they do have a good reputation, and if and when we ever get to Taiwan, we may well fly with Ever Air, because, as I say, they do have a good reputation. That's another kind of loose plan for the future. When I booked this Hong Kong trip that I mentioned earlier, for those of you that were with me earlier, that I had to cancel, the idea was we'd start going somewhere on our way to Thailand, kind of thing. So that was going to be the first one of these trips. So we would go from here to Hong Kong in that case, and have a few days in Hong Kong, and then down to Thailand, and then be in Thailand, you know. And another time we would go to Taiwan on the way, because as I say, it's been on our bucket list for a long time. And Jo used to work in Taiwan for 3 or 4 years. She worked in a factory in Taiwan, and she'd like to go back there, and I've never been there, and I'd like to go there as well. So and that would probably mean flying to Amsterdam and getting either Ever or China Airlines fly. They both fly from Amsterdam, Taipei, but there is no other. There's no other, unless I go to London, of course. But that's like going the wrong way to fly back this way, you know. So I wouldn't really be doing that. But Ever gets has a good reputation, and you get 30 kilos. Yeah, we've got 30 kilos with Qatar Airways. We could have had 25. The tickets were cheaper with 25. I booked the 30 kilo class of ticket, just because I thought better have the more extra luggage, because I know Jo wants to take an awful lot of mushrooms and all sorts of stuff, and it's never enough. And Thai Airways were only getting 20 kilos before, and 20 kilos is just like nothing. You know, if you're going on a fortnight's holiday to the beach or whatever, 20 kilos is all right. You know, you just want to pack a pair of flip-flops and a couple of t-shirts and a pair of swimming trunks, then you're all right. But you know, we're taking stuff to last us for the next 6 or 8 months until we come back, you know. So we've got all sorts of stuff to take with us. So you know, 30 kilos really is a necessary, at least. So that's what we've got with Qatar. But yeah, 30 kilos definitely. But Ever Air, one of those that I want to try. That living in London or near London, you've got a lot more choice for airlines than we have from up here. Obviously we can fly to London first, but then we would have an extra change, and I don't want to do more than a one stop. So we, you know, like we're doing now, Stockholm, Qatar, Bangkok, because we've still got another flight leg, so it's still a 3-leg journey. But from London, you know, there's all sorts, and there's one or two that look quite interesting that I wouldn't mind trying at some point. I can't think what they call now, but the airline from Bahrain, the Bahrain National Airline, they look very good. Gulf Air, I think is what they're called, for example, and they have like a daily flight changing in Manama, Bahrain, from London that you can take. There is airlines like more Middle Eastern airlines. You know, you've got Kuwait and Oman Air, even Saudi Air. If you want a dry flight, you can fly via Jeddah as well. So there's a lot of choice and other places as well. Flights out of London with one stop between London and Bangkok, but from up here in the frozen north, there isn't an awful lot of choice, and you know, we end up, you know, we're lucky. We've got Qatar, we've got Emirates, so they're the choice. But we don't even have Etihad, for example. Etihad don't fly to Scandinavia, so that's another one. From London, you can fly Etihad via Abu Dhabi and one change and onto Bangkok. So yeah, we miss out on that, unfortunately, but not to worry. We still got Qatar Airways, and I'm very pleased about Qatar Airways, and I like them. And I've flown with Emirates, and they were okay as well. So you know, there are choices. There are choices. Right, what time is it now? 51 minutes. Blimey, I wasn't going to be on that long, but I've been. So I'm going to sort of kind of round it off here. What was I going to say? Yeah, this is it, the last live stream. There will be a vlog of some sort next Sunday, and the first Thai video from Thailand will either be midweek in like a week and a half's time, or it'll be in a fortnight's time on the Sunday. If I can manage it in the midweek, I will do it. If it don't come out, you'll just have to wait until the Sunday. It all depends on how we get on and how I feel and how busy we are and everything else after all the journey and everything else. But it's definitely a vlog next week, and it will be another one the week after from Thailand. No, there will be whatever in a fortnight. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Yeah, see you in 7 weeks. Yeah, I will do, Nick. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. And Johnny, thanks a lot, mate. All the best. And to everyone else who's watched either live or even those of you that have watched the repeat, as it were, thanks a lot for watching. Please check out the last vlog if you haven't watched it, because it did do rather badly. And that's about it. I will see you soon with another vlog, as I say, and I will see you all from Thailand soon. So cheers, bye for now. Bye for now.